Hello from New York City, where I am getting on a ferry heading to Rockaway for a different route to JFK Airport today, where I am getting on Lufthansa Flight 401 to Frankfurt. This would be the beginning of a 2-week trip to Germany, Switzerland, and Italy that would take me through Frankfurt, Berlin, Munich, Austria and Liechtenstein to Zurich, the Bernese Oberland, Zermatt, the Engadine and St. Moritz, and Milan before returning home 2 weeks later to New York City. While certainly not the most efficient way to get from Lower Manhattan to JFK Airport, the views from the ferry were quite nice on this afternoon. Getting from Rockaway to JFK Airport was a little bit more complicated than I anticipated, but we eventually did make it to the air train for a quick ride over to Terminal 1 and the Lufthansa Business Class lounge, which was quite crowded even though there was only one flight leaving at the time. The lounge has a selection of hot and cold foods and beverages and a great view out onto the apron, including our Boeing 747 that would take us to Frankfurt this evening.
Hello from the Lufthansa Lounge at JFK Airport. That was a bit of an adventure getting here, all to avoid getting a new Metro card for the air train since I don't have one. But today we are heading over to Frankfurt in business class aboard Lufthansa's 747-8. Now this is my 11th flight on a Boeing 747, my first flight on the new Dash 8 variant. This is also my third time in an international business class cabin. The first time was back in 2004 when I got surprisingly upgraded on Cathay Pacific from Vancouver here to JFK, and then the other time was in 2018 when I flew on an A380 with Asiana Airlines from here at JFK to Seoul, Incheon. That video you can find somewhere in my channel. Early days in terms of production value, production level, and so just sit here with my beer, go to Germany, why not, and wait for my flight over to Frankfurt.
Our ride to Frankfurt today would be an 8-year-old Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental, registration Delta Alpha Bravo Yankee November, which had been a staple on the JFK to Frankfurt run at the time.
So welcome aboard business class on the Lufthansa 747-8. I'm sat right over by the wing, and it's a sold out flight, so of course got someone sitting next to me. There's stowage here, seat controls over there, and more over there, entertainment screen. So I'm gonna sit back, relax, and hope that baby is in economy and not business.
After taxiing out from Terminal 1, here is our departure off of runway 13 right at JFK Airport and the Canarsie climb. After about an hour into the flight, dinner started with a serving of nuts and red wine, followed by a buttered roll and some sort of salad. After watching a little bit more of In the Heights, I had the steak with mashed potatoes for dinner. It was alright, overcooked as you expect on an airplane, but just fine. Dessert was this chocolate pot with a raspberry compote that I finished very quickly.
Well, dinner is over, and here in the Lufthansa Business Class lav, it's perfectly nice. Sink, moisturizing cream. We've got about 4.5 hours left, so I'm probably gonna turn the seat into a bed and call it a night pretty soon. But yes, this is the business class lavatory, in case you were wondering. Well, that's the bed made, and the person who was sitting next to me is no longer there. So I get some privacy at least, and Lufthansa have provided bedtime chocolates, which is nice. But I'm off to bed, and catch you in the morning over Europe.
I did get some sleep on the flight, and shortly after waking up, breakfast was served before descent and arrival. Before long, we began our descent, and the sun was rising as we descended over the Rhine River into Frankfurt. Here's our approach and landing onto runway 07 right at Frankfurt Airport. This flight cost me only $5.60 plus 80,000 United Mileage Plus miles that I earned using my United credit card. Given the early hour we arrived into Frankfurt, and given the empty seat next to me after my neighbor moved, it was absolutely worth the upgrade from economy. But Lufthansa doesn't match up to other business class products like what I flew with Asiana a few years ago, and hopefully Lufthansa will upgrade their product in the coming years with new aircraft. All in all, it wasn't a bad way to get from New York to Germany. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you do not miss any more of my content. You'll be seeing a lot more from this trip to Germany and Switzerland, and I will see you next time.